Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you about exactly how to spot a narcissist. So how do you spot a narcissist? A narc, basically. So listen, you can find a plethora, literally a plethora of content online talking to you about how to spot a narcissist and how to really decipher all of their gimmicks, their tips, and their manipulations and stuff like that, and just for you to understand and see, compare who you know who treated you in a very manipulative way, for you to be able to decipher, and so on and so forth. But the truth is, as a matter of fact, I could go on and give you a list of things, and there are many things. What you gotta have to understand is that the most important thing is that if you feel that there's something off, it's because there is something off. The energy that comes off a person is always true. That means for you on the other side, when you are receiving that energy, sometimes you are clearly able to articulate why you don't like someone, right? You see it, and you see that person, and you see how they are behaving in general, and you're like, oh, I don't like that about them because X, Y, and Z. And there are other times, like where you meet other people and it's just on an energetic level. You cannot put words onto it. You cannot prove anything. You don't have proof, because maybe you just met that person, or you've known that person for a while, and they might be even very close to you, you know? And there is still something within yourself, a voice that just tells you something is off. There is just something you can just quite pinpoint or put your finger on, but your energy knows that something is off. Listen, if you feel that way, please believe me that there is something wrong. Energy doesn't lie. People can come at you, around you, you know, entertain a relationship with you in so many different ways and shape and forms, but they can try to act, especially narcissists, because they are very well known for having a two faces, right? Being two-faced. So they will come, they will tell you a whole lot of things that you want to hear. They will treat you, love bomb you, and all of this stuff. Whether that person is a narcissist or not, whomever does this on a subconscious level, you are going to feel it. You're going to catch it. Your energy is going to catch it. And so if for some reason, whether you are able to say that that person is a narcissist, or you are not really able to say because they play hot and cold, or sometimes they are one way but other times they're another way, kind of like that. They're not consistent in who they are. And even though if they're consistent in who they are, or if they're portraying to be in whom they're portraying to be, right, it doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to say to you is that what's really important is that you start trusting your inner energy, your guts, because if you feel that there's something wrong, there is something wrong with it. And sometimes, all the time, scratch that, all the time, you have to be cool. You have to be okay with not having proofs. You have to be okay with trusting yourself, trusting your energy, trusting your inner guides, basically, right? And I'm not saying pointing the fingers at people and unjustifiably insulting them, or making them feel guilty, or just like, you know, say you are a narcissist or whatever. Let me tell you one thing, okay? Whatever you've been watching online, unless you've been watching the content of a professional psychiatrist, psychologist, unless you've been watching a doctor's content, and even though you've been doing that, that doctor still has to meet the person you think is a narcissist, and they still have to go through a process of evaluation of a psychological assessment to understand and to be able to say, yes, that person is a narcissist, or that person has narcissistic traits. So you can go, as I said, along a whole lot of things, a whole lot of content online, and be like, oh yeah, it's she is a narcissist, I've been manipulated and stuff like that. Listen, let me pause on this because that's important. I understand being hurt. Okay, if you are new to this channel and you've never heard of me before, I am a former codependent. So I know what it is like to be hurt. I know what it is like to be manipulated. I know what it is like to feel like the last thing, basically the last thing that matters. I know how it feels. And thanks God for me, I was awakened about 5 years ago into this journey of understanding what I was doing wrong and where the imbalances were in my personal relationships. So I'm really sorry that you have to be going through this, and I am actually also glad that you found this video, because now we can really work around those things and focus on healing you and making you feel better, and also teaching you and guiding you together to, you know, understand what's healthy for you, what's good for you, what feels amazing, what really pushes you up, and make us clear separations from anything that is pushing you down, basically. Okay, I need to take a little bit of drinks. So listen, what's important here, among everything in your healing journey, whether you are, you know that you're codependent, or you are suspecting that you are, or you are just a people pleaser, as people are, as we hear a little bit everywhere, like people pleasing and all, you know. So if you're just identifying yourself with people pleasing to codependent, and I'm separating them like this because it's not the same thing, right? Codependent, it really is like something that's recurring, something that you can't really control, and it takes healing. It's a journey. And people pleasing, more or less, this entire society that we live in is brought up to be a people pleasing society, basically. So, you know, when you're a child and your parents tell you, oh, be a good boy, be a good girl, and whatever, you know, be good and you're gonna get love, attention, or the rewards that you're being promised. So basically everyone is really brought up in a sense and an inclination of pleasing people, more or less. But then when you are rebelling in your teenagehood and starting to understand who you really are in your adulthood, then a whole lot of people are able to get that balance with their own needs and have that healthy balance for themselves. Again, healthy balance for themselves. Healthy balance, this depends on every single person. We are all different. As long as anyone feels that they're in a healthy balance, then they are in a healthy balance, right, when it comes to those things. But here's the thing: when there is abuse, when there is pain, when there is burnout, when there is constant all of this stuff, you know, you clearly are not in a healthy balance. So what's really important here, and I'm gonna be blunt, because I don't believe in sugarcoating anything, right? And I don't believe in staying in the shallow levels of conversations and stuff like that. There's no healing being done. There is no changes, no positive changes being done on the shallow levels at anything. All right, let's go deep in here real quick, real fast. What matters is you. What matters is how you see yourself. What matters is what you do. What matters is how you behave. What matters is how you feel, how you respect yourself. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important. It doesn't matter if they're a narcissist. The most important thing that you gotta understand and that you gotta focus is yourself. And no, it is not selfish. When I am talking to people who are in the people-pleasing spectrum, you know, from people pleaser to codependent, if you are in that tendency, there is an unbalance. So in order for you to rebalance, you got to focus on something, and one thing is yourself until the balance is found, and then you can start focusing on other things, right? So that's what I'm saying. The energy levels here are off balance, right? The self-care, the self-esteem, the self-love, the self-confidence is low, and everything else in your life, taking care of others and stuff like that, is higher, right? And so that's why at some point and for a while during the healing phase, what's important is to just remove as much as you can attentions and energy from here to put it here. So I said as much as you can, because I understand some are caregivers, some are mothers, some have to, you know, take care of a whole lot of things. I understand, but that's the point in here, is that you can never really take care of the other things here as long as that one is really low, because you're just going to be here suffering. Everyone is going to be here seeing you suffering. And listen to me, the way you treat yourself is the way people treat you. I need to take a pause. The way you treat yourself is the way people treat you. So the more you give, hey, listen, the more you give, the more they'll ask. The more you give, the more they'll take, because you keep giving. And so until when? Until when? It's time now to just focus on yourself and fill up your cup of self-love, self-care, and self-esteem, self-confidence. So it's a journey, right? So what I'm trying to really portray here in these videos is that it doesn't matter. The others don't matter if they are, it doesn't matter if they are narcissist, or if they are whatever they are, okay? It's not about pointing the finger, because okay, I know how it feels good to be looking at a person who made you feel bad and hurt you and be like, you're such a narcissist. Oh yeah, I know the feeling. It feels good at a moment. It feels like, hey, listen, there's a balance. I'm coming back at you, like revenge, you know, like that kind of like urge, the pain that just comes and pour out on that person because they deserve it. The deserving part goes back to what I'm saying. If you don't give the chance to others to use you, they're not gonna have anything to use. They're gonna just move on to the next person who's available to be used. I'm pausing right now because this is so important. If you're not giving the supply to anyone to disrespect you, to use you, they're gonna move to somebody else who's available for it. And that person who's available for it better not be you, because you are here watching me and you're learning that, you know what, the most important thing right here, right now is you. You. Okay? You. Yes, you are important. So the most important thing for you to do right now is just learn to focus on you. I know at the beginning it's so difficult because, hey, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. Okay, listen, again, as I said, these things will not be taken care of as long as you're not being taken care of. Second thing you need to do is to subscribe to my channel, because this is exactly what I talk about. Here is self-care, self-love, building up an unshakable self-confidence. That means nothing can take it away from you. A self-confidence that is rooted in you and in God, the Almighty, the one who is powerful among anything, the Creator. Okay, so when you are rebuilding yourself in you and God and who He made you to be, okay, it doesn't matter if you are a person of faith. Like my content, yes, is for people of faith, and right now someone who's not really believing in God might be like, okay, goodbye, I'm sorry for you, but that's the space. I believe in God and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And I know that there's so many codependents out there that struggle with finding someone who can help them that doesn't have that aspect. But the truth is, if you're here and if you keep finding only people who have and root their self-confidence, their healing in that aspect of God, if you keep just finding that, perhaps ask yourself, perhaps this is the only way. And actually is the only way for me. So that's the way that made it for me. That's the way that made it for many people. And so we move on to the next thing. Self-care and self-love, rooted in yourself, understanding who you are, what are your skill set, what is good about you, how did God made you with all those good things about you, and understanding all the things that, okay, they are part of you, they are human parts of you, right? I don't want to say negative points, I don't want to say weaknesses. all humans are humans, right? I'm using the word humans because it starts with stopping, zip, to judge yourself. Other people have been labeling you your whole entire life, and guess what? That's never gonna stop until your last breath, unfortunately. But guess what? It doesn't matter. You get to recenter and choose who you want to be, and you get to recenter and choose that, you know what, take that label, it's not for me. I am not that. Take that label. That's somebody else's thinking. That is not me. This is not who God made me. This is not how I was built. This is not me. I don't identify with this. What's really important also is when you are, I'm going back to talking about others being narcissists. So my journey personally, when I discovered really that I was codependent, I made a whole video about that and about my reaction that I'm gonna link somewhere. And yes, it was hard. Of course it was hard for me to like face that. It was like, oh my god, so all the things that I had been blaming others that they did to me as a like, and took the victim position in my life, actually I could have avoided that for myself. It's hard for me to say. I was the common denominator. I'm the one who created those situations. Ouch. It hurts. Yes, it hurts. And so that's the first reaction to me. I don't know about you, it was like a really big slap in my face. But then when I swallowed it, then I realized, okay, well, the good thing is that it can stop only if I make it stop. So I have that power to stop it. Oh my god, yes. So okay, let's get on with this, you know. And so I became so obsessed, passionate. If you are in human design, if you know anything about human design, I'm a generator, and it is in my design to search for information. So anytime that I am interested into anything, I will become passionate. I said passionate because it sounds better than I will become obsessed as F until I find all the answers that I need. So the person, and here's a story that you really gotta grasp and understand, and my main reason for me to tell you don't focus on others if they are narcissists or not, because I did meet narcissists and I believe that there were narcissists in my family. Okay, so here's the thing, I'm talking about that because obviously childhood and your conditioning is what makes you a codependent. So here's the thing, 5 to 6 years ago I met my husband, and actually it was being with him that really that awakened me to the fact that I was codependent. And it was very much rooted in the discrepancies in the problems that we had in our relationships. Thanks God it was not the general theme of our relationships, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten married to him. But certain things that he was doing, certain things that he was saying really kept on triggering me really bad and bringing me back really far back, really far back. And so anyone who's codependent or people pleaser will definitely relate to this, because you know, when someone is just saying something, sometimes it just really triggers and it hurts so much that it is translated in anger, and then all you do is burst out. The person in front of you doesn't understand because they just gave you feedback and so they get lashed out, and you are hurt, and the only thing you want to do is get it out of your system, or just try to make them understand, please don't do that to me because that really hurts me, or please don't say those things, or whatever, you know. After a while, when you are able to clearly talk and enunciate those feelings, this is for the people who are able to talk about their feelings after they are pissed off, which is not a lot of people. So yeah, I just was like, there's something wrong, right? Going through this relationship with my husband, we were like very much at the beginning of our relationship, and we got married very quickly. For us, it was really in the first 3 dates that we knew that we were going to get married. So it was that intense, that quick, right? And a whole lot of people would tell you, oh, major red flags. I don't think so. Keep listening, because I promise to you that a whole lot of people out there who are talking to you about codependency and narcissism, they don't have all the aspects of relationships in general. They just take one or two things that they know, and they just base themselves on those paradigms, on those teachings and stuff like that. Humans, we are a whole aspect. We are a full spectrum of a whole lot of things, right? So here's what's really important, and I really want to make my point real quick in this video, because I really want to give you the juice of the juice, right? So yeah, I felt that there were things that were not normal. So this is how I ended up literally on Google. Yeah, I ended up on Google, and I Googled my symptoms literally, and so I found that video from a professional that was talking about codependency, and this is where I was like, the slap in the face story. And then my relentless research into this and all, and as I was focusing myself on healing, which was a whole lot of my healing was really truly rooted in self-love and learning to love myself, going back into the past and going back into everything that hurt me, and slowly healing each one of those things. And it's a journey, because it's a work done in layers. And so as I was healing, and that's my message for you as well, as you're healing, as I was healing, I was able to and look for all of these contents about how to spot a narcissist and all. I pointed the fingers at so many people. I pointed the fingers at so many people, majorly like pretty much like everyone in my life. And again, I was still there living the victim role. I was still in that position where no matter how real I wanted to be with myself, no matter how real I wanted to see reality, the things that happened to me, the things that I went through, and really removing myself from the victim mentality, I was still there because I was still healing. And that's totally normal. So when you are in the healing process, that like I was pointing the fingers at so many people. And yes, I did point the finger at my husband many times over. And after my journey of healing and feeling better, when do you know you're healed? You know that you're healed because you're able to see things in a much clearer way, from stepping back and be like, whoa, that was insane. Thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you, God, for healing me. Thank you, God, for guiding me towards the steps to healing, right? And so as I was searching about myself, I also was searching a whole lot of things about my husband and his personality. And so yes, I did obviously search about all the criteria that would make someone a narcissist and stuff like that. And so that fucked up with my head for a while. But when you are in the healing process, you really have to be careful about how you're pointing the finger. That really is the major thing. So recently I came across human design, and my husband happens to be a reflector. So the reflectors are the most human designs is about archetypes, personality archetypes. And so it combines different paradigms, different modalities, that's the word I was looking for, different modalities like astrology, the chi, I can never say that right away, the Kabbalah, and like a whole lot of things, right? And so as I said, humans, we are full spectrum. So I don't believe into relying on just one modality to understand how God made us, because we are so complex in so many levels. And even when you go to professionals, to me, they still don't have all of the answers, because as I said, they are basing themselves on certain researches, and all of these researches are never rooted in God's knowledge, never taking that into consideration, that, you know what, just the same way that God said be and Adam was, how do you contain that in science? How do you contain that in science? You can't. So basically you have to take a whole lot of modalities into consideration to understand things and to understand humans. So I was blown away by human designs. And again, I am going back to talking about my husband, who's a reflector, and what reflectors do. And you probably don't, okay, the reflectors are known to be like the rarest type, but they still are there. It's not 1%, as far as I've seen. If I remember, the correct number is 27% of the population. So you know what, chances are high that you have been able, or that you have met someone who's a reflector. What does reflectors do? Who are they? What's special about them? So all the other types have pronounced, consistent archetype personality kind of aura. I'm gonna say personality, right? The reflectors, what they do is that they are like a mirror. They reflect who you are. They reflect who you are. So that means that every single thing that I thought, my husband only held the mirror in front of me. And my most deepest insecurities came back to me. And that's why I was like, you're a narcissist, many times over. And I thank God for clarifying this last piece, this last element of human design that wasn't there before, that allowed me now to really understand people in general in a much deeper way. Because I understand, as I said, I'm not just relying myself on this, I'm also relying myself on years and years and years of understanding and searching about codependency and narcissism and all of the other modality that are taking into consideration when it comes to healing those things. So my message here in this video is very important, is for you to not just, don't listen everything you see around you, because as I said, to be able to tell you if someone is a narcissist, that has to come from a professional who goes through an assessment that only they can do, because they have been trained for this. So you as a codependent, you cannot know. You cannot know. And I hope that this video will humble you just the same way that it humbled me, because when I realized that, I felt so sorry for my husband. And I was like, shit, he really loves me, because he went through all of this shit with me and he's still there. And so I am so grateful for him being in my life right now. And just don't point a finger at someone and be like, you know, Googling your symptoms and believing that everything that you hear online. And I know that all the posts on social media and YouTube and all, like how to spot a narcissist, how do you know if he's a narcissist, he's doing this, he's doing that, and like the algorithm. And because people are obsessed with drama, okay, I'm not gonna be sorry for saying this, because it's the truth. People in general are obsessed with the drama. The half of the population, if you are in human design, and if you're not, I highly invite you to start getting into it. And my content is gonna get more and more about this, so subscribe to this channel. But what I'm saying is that human design teaches us that half of the population is emotional. So when it comes to, you know, this type of content, of dramatic content like that, yeah, of course, half of the population is going to flock to it and watch it and comment on it and search for it, and they're gonna, you know, it creates the buzz. And you have so many people who understand that and be like, hey, let me make some bucks. and be like, oh, so this is how you spot a narcissist, and they do this and they do that, and there's not much in there. There's not much in there. So for me, and based on my experience, all the things that I shared with you in this video, but as a former codependent, I am thanks God to the bottom of my heart healed, and I am able to tell you one thing, and one thing for certain: someone who has never been through it will never understand. So you're gonna have a whole lot of people online, they're gonna be like, hey, how to spot a narcissist, and this is that, if you're a people pleaser and you're a codependent and blah blah blah. Ask them, or search in their content if they ever said that they used to be codependent. Ask them. And then the second thing that you're going to find online, and that I found online, and at the beginning, because I was only looking for professionals and their content, because at the beginning this is what everyone would do, you gotta be seeing a professional, they know better because they have a PhD or whatever. My ass, listen, I don't mean no disrespect, but though I'm going to disrespect, if someone has never been through it, it's easy for them, as professional, to tell you, oh, you're never going to recover from this. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If you telling me that I'm never going to recover from this, the fallout out of this is me being in therapy with you for the rest of my life. Of course you're going to tell me this, and I believe that us humans were made perfectly imperfect. God makes no freaking mistakes, okay? No mistakes whatsoever, and he didn't start with us. I am 100% sure from the bottom of my heart, not just from my faith but from my experience, that if you are awakened by God to a problem like this, is because he wants you to get out of it. He's going to give you what you need to heal, in his power and in your power. Okay, so yes, I believe in science, but science is not everything, because as I said before, how science explain how God gave life to Adam, or how God gives life in general, they can't. But when you go above science, you take that into consideration, because there is truth in all modalities. There is truth in all modalities, but one by itself doesn't do the trick. It does not do the trick. Even human design by itself does not do the trick, because human design really bases itself with the universe, and how the universe is going to give you whatever, and so when I go through the human design content, I very much, if I see the universe, I know that they're talking about the creator of the universe. So people who are like spiritual, they call themselves spiritual. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Hi there to you. they talk a lot about the universe, and I know there's a whole lot of controversy around that when it comes to people of faith, because they be like, oh, I don't pray to the universe, I pray to the creator of the universe, which I also am guilty of doing. But now, since I'm someone who will search deeply into different subjects, especially anything that touches near or far the subject of God and faith and manifestation and what's going on outside of this world. I'm fascinated by that. I will go and search before I open my mouth, so here's the thing, is that as I am searching about the spirituality, this whole community of people who say, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. The more I go into it, the more I understand that they are believers. They are believers. I need to say it. They are believers. They believe in source. Even when they say universe, they mean God, but they don't know if this is the right word for them, or they don't want to use that word. And universe is God, source is God, and yeah, that's it. So they are believers, they believe in God, they just have different ways of manifesting that and talking around that and worshiping and just being there, so that is just like a small thing here. Anyways, going back to what I said, that was truly my most humble experience and what I came across, and I really want to share this with you and the world, because I really believe that people can save lives. That can save lives, and I'm not even exaggerating slightly, because I am part of groups on Facebook around codependency, and I see posts on a daily basis about people on the verge of suicide because they can't take the pain that they are in. They can't take the pain that they are in. And so if this is you, I'm here for you. Okay? I'm here for you. I hope you subscribe to this channel, and please reach out to anyone before you do something like that or whatever. So I just wanted to extend that, because I have been through that point where I was at the verge of considering, like I was seriously considering ending my life, and it was the hardest moment emotionally speaking for me. And so in those moments, you don't want to do this stuff. Life is beautiful. You are worthy to be loved. You are worthy of your own love. You are worthy of your self-care, and even more by the grace of God. You are worthy of so much. You've been born, and you've been conditioned. Like, listen, when you came in, each one of us, when we came into this earth, we came perfectly imperfect. We came pure as a white blank sheet of paper. This is how God made us. And then this world started to condition and to raise us and to teach us about this world and life and how to navigate. And so depending on who you had around you, who raised you, you know, conditioned you to think and act and behave that you could only be loved when you give so much of yourself and receive just a little. And so I'm here to tell you that all this love that you give to others because you're searching for the love back, that's the love that you can give to yourself right away and get it 100%. Because only then the relationship you have with yourself is a reflection of the way you treat yourself is a reflection of all the other things that you're going to see. So the way you treat yourself, the relationship you have with yourself, is only going to show others how to treat you. So if you treat yourself, like, as I said, the last thing in the list, the last thing that matters, this is how people would treat you. And this is how I circle back with what I said at the beginning. You deserve, I'm not even talking about deserving, okay? We are not talking about deserving here. We don't deserve love. We are worthy of it. If you haven't seen my other video that talks about worthiness, deserving versus the deserving versus the feeling of worthiness, of self-love and stuff like that, I'm gonna link it. It's easier. Please watch it, because it's so worth watching, and it's going to just hopefully make something click in your mind, that you understand that there's nothing that you have to do, there's no one in particular that you have to be in order to be worthy of love. Okay, so watch this video and make sure to subscribe to my channel again and again. I'm saying this, I am trying to grow my channel this year to 10,000 subscribers, so please make that happen for me, please. And if I reach 1,000 subscribers, when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a giveaway. So there's gonna be beauty products, and there's gonna be like programs and access to my courses and stuff like that, and give away one-on-one consultation calls, which I never do, and giving away products. If you don't know, I'm a business owner. I own 2 businesses. I sell jewelry and I sell shapewear. So there's gonna be like a huge giveaway that is gonna happen when I reach 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe, share those videos with whomever need to hear this. And I shared so much. There's a lot of things to be taken as pearls of wisdom. And so comment in this video if you want to be part of, if you want to be considered for the giveaway when I reach 1,000 subscribers. And so thank you so much for watching, and I am looking forward to seeing you very soon. Just as an FYI, I'm planning to do my videos in the future live, so you can tune in and ask your questions right away. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the most blessed day. It was an honor to serve you. Bye bye.